All right. Hello and welcome. Today we have Kelly, and today, Kelly, we're going to be doing something a little bit different, aren't we?
Yeah.
We are going to be doing, well, Kelly's going to be doing it. I'm just going to be asking the questions. We're going to be doing some tarot readings around different things that are happening in the world, and hopefully get some clarity for the viewers. So, yeah, how are you doing tonight, Kelly?
I'm doing great.
That's good. You're looking very
I
summery
brought my
there.
glasses.
Yeah.
Brought my specs so I
Yeah.
can see my cards.
Okay, yeah, you kind of want to see the cards, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Cool. Well, let's dive in then. Uh,
Great.
you can just
What we
get set
got
up and
now?
I'll have a look at the first question. So here's some questions of things that I think people would like to know. Uh, how about we look at maybe the first thing? June's coming to an end right now, and I've been hearing a few different things about some things that could be happening in July. So could we have a look at what you see coming up for the US in terms of maybe politically or even just as a
Like you talking about like around July 3rd? Is that what you mean?
yeah, let's go with that first and see what happens there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the first card out is the Five of Wands, which is about conflict, opposing opinions.
Okay.
So we'll see where this goes. Oh my God. Oh crap, phone just leaked out of my hand. Can't possibly take all those. Jeez. I'm not getting anything else out of these. How about this? I'll try these.
How do you decide which deck to use?
I just feel for it.
Okay.
I have like 15 decks, but I felt for these three. Okay, so we've got some kind of union or balance going to take place on July 3rd. So that's a good sign.
Uh-huh. And what are you hearing at the moment in terms of what could take place on July 4th? You know, like around that time. Is there anything interesting in the US?
Intuitively, I have felt for a while now that we're going to have really fabulous celebrations 4th of July this year for some reason. And that Joni, what's her name? I can't think of her last name right now, that does the some other kind of astrology charts, some other countries. It's not Western. I forget what you call it. But she also expects something really celebratory to take place on July 4th this year. She's looking at the same thing I'm looking at. There's going to be a lot of truths revealed through June, and then maybe some kind of really big celebration on July 4th, which we're almost to the end of June now. And we've not had a whole lot of revelations, except the one early, what was it, July 8th or July 9th, about Bush Jr. having direct ties to the September event with those twin
Oh
towers.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
But that didn't really hit the mainstream or anything or
yeah, it's like they kind of just kicked it under the rug real fast after it came out.
but was that part of the video that you sent me or was that something else?
Yes. No, it was that video I sent you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think maybe that if everything goes to plan, I think maybe September, like 9/11 this year, would would be an interesting day for them to reveal it.
I do
You
too.
know, because
Yeah.
if let's just pretend that July is, you know, the truth just keeps ramping up, and maybe there's a switch in terms of like the worldwide narrative at this point, then maybe
Yeah.
a lot more things will come out, and maybe, you know, in September it would be an interesting time, you know, to break it to the
Yeah.
people.
Right. And not just that, but numbers really do matter as far as the whole manifesting, creation, vibrations and stuff go. And
Yeah.
so to do it on 9/11 would technically reverse the evil that was put on it originally.
Okay.
By using the same numbers, it would reverse it.
Right. Okay.
So it's good to put a positive vibration over top of that negative one to cancel it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you would want some kind of revelation or good event to take place to, you know, like undo the negative vibes of it. So the cards that I've got here, I would say that definitely on July 3rd, something big is going to happen just from the looks of these cards, but it's going to piss a lot of people off also.
Yeah.
So it's going to be something big. It's going to be good for us, like unity. It's about unity and love and Phoenix rising from the ashes kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But there's also this conflict with opposing opinions card that came out first. So we can expect some kind of aversion to whatever it is that takes place.
Right. And is that probably something like, when you say there's going to be a conflict, do you mean a conflict of maybe, say, the majority of the world thinking it one thing and then another percentage of the world thinking another thing? Is that what you mean?
I'm kind of getting more of the energy like there's going to be people who try to make it stop.
Okay. Are you able to kind of,
or end it quickly?
That makes sense. I think that kind of energy will always be well, I don't want to say always be around, but it will be around for a little bit until we eradicate it completely, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there?
Yeah, we're always going to have some level of an opposing team until it's completely corrected.
Sure. Are you able to kind of look into what that thing could be and get more specific on it?
Yeah, I'm trying to pull some. I have elemental cards that kind of tap into emotion. So I'm trying to tap into the emotion of July 3rd.
Okay.
I think a card just flipped over. It's the full moon card. It's the card of completion. So that's good. That's really good. That's satisfaction. You know, that's reason to celebrate on July 4th.
All right. Okay.
That's complete satisfaction. Something comes to an end finally.
Cool. That sounds good.
Yeah. And focus is the next card, which is a very good card too for emotional energy. So yeah, this looks really positive. And blessings. Blessings popped out too. So that's really good emotional energy for that day. Really good. Even if we do have some kind of opposing force, that's really good.
Does it look like that the opposing force won't be successful in their attempts to thwart the?
I think no, they're small compared to the rest of these cards. Only one card wanted to come out about that.
Okay.
So I don't think they're as big and powerful as the good guys team.
Right. Yeah.
And I didn't notice that this card fell out too, and it's about healthy choices in love and life and being happier. So that's really good energy for that day too.
Okay.
And then we've got the Dreamer card, which is about new starts and healing from sadness and healing from so much hard work and putting in so many hours to something. So that's all really good, positive energy for that day.
Okay. Well, it's not long to go.
No, but that's like this card is about those huge burdens. Can you see the picture of it? It's
Yeah,
about releasing those huge burdens, like letting those burdens off your shoulders.
right.
Oh, that's really, really good energy. So I would say something really big and good's going to happen that day.
Okay.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, I think we all do. I think we're all just hoping for something big,
Yeah.
whatever that will be.
Yeah.
I think for
We
most
really all
people,
want to break from it.
yeah, we're all kind of tired of this film that we're watching, and we want it to
Right.
end, or at the very least, maybe we want like a twist, like a big arrest in the film or something. Maybe that'll be good too.
Okay. Yeah. And listen, I just want to segue in my belief system here real quick and just point out to all the viewers that we actually can end all of this, including the pandemic and the, jab to the arm craziness, the whole deal. All we have to do is change our thought on it. Start putting positive energy, positive thoughts into, Mr. T being in position and all the bad guys being rounded up and arrested, and feel the energy of that. Feel the happiness of the whole world being free finally. Feel the happiness of the pandemic just going away and all the bad guys involved being taken care of, arrested. Look at the positive things that we could want to see from it, see happen for it, and focus on those instead of the fear or the worry part of it. Because the more thought energy we put into those things, the faster we can all manifest those things to actually happen. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the key right there. And I think that letter, that letter
The letter
17.
the letter in the alphabet. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think that was a big point that they were trying to get across to people that they kept missing.
Right.
Was that we need to focus our thought on positive outcomes, not on the fear, not on the negative,
Yeah.
So I hope that everybody listening really takes heed to that, because we honest to God can change the freaking world if we just focus our thoughts correctly.
Yeah.
I mean, we are creators.
Yeah, 100% agree. Anybody who's ever somehow manifested something good into their life just for the power of thought, and you have this thought, and maybe you visualize it, or maybe you write it down as a goal or whatever it is, and then it won't happen straight away, of course not. But maybe like 6 months down the line or 12 months down the line, it could be years. I'm not saying that this will take years, but all of a sudden this thing, whatever it is that you wanted, comes into your life, and you don't know how it happened. It just kind of happened. It's the same thing.
Right.
Like, but the difference is that where it's one person doing it, we have potentially millions of billions of people doing it, which speeds it up.
Exactly.
So if we're all focusing on that one thing, or the thing, the outcome that we want to see in the world, then it's definitely going to speed it up. And yeah.
Yes, definitely. That's the whole point of people doing vision boards, where you cut pictures out of a magazine or whatever, and you put these images on your board for the things you want in like 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
You create a vision board, and it helps to manifest it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thought's powerful.
Thought is very powerful. Yeah. And everything starts with a thought. And if more
Yeah.
people knew that, and they realized that we wouldn't be wasting precious thoughts on stupid things that aren't going to matter, like one.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, thoughts are very powerful. And we have something like 70 to 80,000 thoughts per day or something.
Right. It's crazy, stupid much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But the key is to add, you got to feel that happy emotion with them, right? Because that's why bad thoughts can happen so quick. Because we put the emotion into that bad thought fast.
Mm.
But we don't always put the emotion into the good thought as
Yeah.
strongly,
Yeah, exactly. Is there a way that we could look at what could be happening in the month of July, perhaps worldwide, in terms of the current world situation? Can you do that?
We can see what we get. Yeah. Maybe not these cards.
Sorry.
Nothing's happening here. Let me get these out of. Or maybe not, you know. I don't tend to pick cards out myself. I let them jump.
Hmm.
Well, the whole world's gonna be thinking a lot.
Sorry.
And I said the whole world's gonna be really contemplating on something and thinking a lot and defeating their enemy and having a lot of choices, a lot of opportunities to daydream about different choices. So that's positive. Love that. Lots of information.
Do you think just more
New
disclosure?
beginnings, lots of new beginnings. Huh?
You think more disclosure will happen in July?
Oh, yeah, it would have to if things, you know, if everything goes the way we hope it does, there would have to be like floods of information to educate, you know, the masses that don't know, that aren't in the know, that aren't waking up, that aren't truth seekers, right?
Right. Yeah. And speaking of floods, we were just talking before off camera, and you told me that a lot of the US was experiencing a lot of rain, and it's kind of uncharacteristic for that time of year. And I know we experienced about 2 weeks of rain here and over east also as well. And China had their big floods, like huge ones. So, and that's the ones I know of. You know, I'm sure maybe there was some you know, a lot of rain activity in other parts of the world too.
I can't believe the card that just fell out.
Well, I can't see it.
The 1111 card.
Oh, okay. So what does that mean in tarot?
That's, well, it's lots of unions, you know, lots of celebrations, lots of unions. I mean, for lack of, but it's the marriage card in tarot,
Right. Okay.
right? You know, it's the like happy ever after marriage shit. So,
Yeah.
you know, and the King of Cups right next to it too, with the Fool card, which all is like new beginnings and lots of love and lots of unions, lots of messages coming in, lots of choices, lots of reasons to daydream. Saying ha ha to the enemy. Look at that dude. See him laughing at everybody back there because he wins.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I mean, this is really good, positive energy. And everybody enjoying the fruits of their labor. That's the Seven of Pentacles.
Okay.
That's reaping the harvest from all the hard work. So you know, in the letter number category, people, how would they say that? It's time to harvest the corn, I think is how they say it.
Yeah.
Get your popcorn.
Oh, okay. Get the popcorn. So July is going to be a big one then.
Yeah, it's looking really positive. Yeah. Like it's gonna be a really good one.
That's awesome.
Get your popcorn time. That's pretty awesome. Worldwide. That was for worldwide.
Right.
Just to remind everybody.
Okay.
It wasn't just the US. That's all of us celebrating. That's all of us being happy on the 4th of July.
Excellent. Okay, on the 4th. Okay, maybe it's going to be the big I told you so party.
Well, you know, we weren't really focused on the 4th, but if everything happens the way we think it's going to, the 4th of July is going to become a worldwide date of importance.
Okay.
And so,
Well, that'd be interesting.
see,
Yeah. I always wondered what that date would be. I always wondered what the date would be that, you know, becomes like the worldwide kind of, you know what I mean? The
Worldwide Independence Day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
because there will be a day. I don't know if they would make it the same day as the US Independence Day. I think it might be so big that they'd want to, make it a different day,
I think it'd be pretty fucking awesome for the whole world to shoot off fireworks all at the same time.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh no, I agree. I completely agree.
The bomb.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to have a worldwide Independence Day for sure. It's going to be just
Yeah.
the best day of the
I would
year.
love that.
Uh,
So if they tried to break it up, I would be one of them to protest.
yeah, and fireworks are
see-
illegal here, unfortunately.
Like
So,
the ISS or something.
oh yeah,
Have the space station take video of the 4th of July.
Mm.
That
Yeah.
would be great.
that would be interesting. So, maybe going off of that worldwide question, this is something that has come up. I watched a video earlier, and they were saying that in certain parts of the UK, people are getting kind of like emergency broadcasts on their phones, I think. And
Oh yeah.
we had one in Melbourne in the CBD just a few weeks ago, and we'd heard about it like 2 or 3 days before or a day before, and then somebody filmed it actually happening. And I saw another screenshot of it happening somewhere in other parts of the world too. But there was definitely an EBS. I can't remember exactly the words they used, but it said this is like an emergency broadcast testing or something. Yeah, and it was, you could hear this voice all over the city. So I was wondering if you could look at the Melbourne EBS thing and see what the point of that was. Was it a test to? I mean, I don't think this has ever happened before, as far as I'm aware. But then again, I'm so unplugged from things like back in the day that I wouldn't know if the whole world was on fire. You know what I mean? Like, because I was so unplugged.
Right.
I was so
Right.
unplugged from things. But like, was that a white hat thing, or was it something else?
Yeah, I'm pulling the emotions of it first. Well, we got wake up call and blessings.
Okay.
So I would take that was probably white hat energy.
Right.
The good guys did it. The interesting thing here is that this is the tsunami and the rainbow.
Uh-huh.
And when you said you didn't think that ever happened there before, the first thing I was wondering was, is this something in preparation for bigger things that may happen? Like a drastic weather change or something, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, are you familiar with FEMA here in the States? We have FEMA.
A little. Yeah.
They're like our emergency preparedness people. They plan for things and make sure there's plenty of supplies for each location, each area, whatever. And they do scenarios for comets coming in and
Right.
huge earthquakes happening. Like for the New Madrid fault line, it's the big one. It's known as the sleeping giant, and if it erupts, it will be a very big deal when it erupts. So they've got a plan in place just in my region for like 7 million underwater body bags, 7 million biodegradable caskets, lots of stuff like that for when that happens. Like it's already in place in a warehouse.
Okay.
And a lot of times, when they, our people, when they think that there's some kind of storm or something coming, they'll do those emergency broadcast tests. Like for example, in the spring, we'll get a bunch of those in the spring just to prepare for before like the tornado season starts,
Yeah.
So that was my first thought, was that maybe they're knowing of some kind of impending drastic weather change or something that may happen in your all's area.
Okay.
But I mean, it could be political too. So we'll go on and look at the other cards just to see. I was just sharing my thoughts on it, that it might be more a weather preparedness type test.
Right. Yeah, well, definitely in that state, about a week later or 2 weeks later, they had some huge floods. So that was interesting.
Right. Because that's what I was getting to. It seems like everywhere has had so much rain lately that there's a lot of flooding happening.
Mm,
Like a lot of flood and sinkholes,
yeah.
because around here, that's the next thing that's going to happen is the sinkhole if there's too much water.
Right.
Because we practically all of the United States is on top of this big cave system,
Yeah.
huge catacombs of caves.
Right.
So we get a lot of sinkholes when the water stands for too long.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of crazy stuff going on. And when you mentioned the storm, it kind of reminded me of that day 2 weeks ago where I messaged you and I said, "Hey, does it feel really quiet? Do you get the feeling that everything's really quiet?" You know?
Yeah, that was a strange day.
And it was like maybe we're at the eye of the storm right now. Maybe it's just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I noticed, was it night before last? Night before last, when I was sitting here doing tarot, the energy, just the energy in the air felt weird to
Mm.
me all night long. Like it just felt odd. Like there almost like there wasn't enough electricity in the air compared to most. And that doesn't even really make sense to me, but makes sense to me too. You know,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like it just felt, usually you feel the busyness. I don't know if you noticed it or not, but you kind of feel the busyness of the electricity in the air,
Well, yeah.
with all of your like lights and TVs and computers and all that stuff on, there's just more electricity in the air, you know?
Yeah.
And I just, it seemed like there was a drastic lack of for some reason. It just was off. Things have just felt really off. And time is really different lately. And my damn watch keeps coming off of my arm too, like Catherine's.
All right. My watch stopped
Yeah,
just a few days ago. And
totally stopped.
yeah, completely stopped. And I got it changed. I got the battery changed last year on my birthday. So it didn't even last a full year. Usually it lasts a couple of years.
Right.
So that's interesting.
But you're magnetic now too. So I bet
Yeah.
I bet your
Yeah.
energy levels are, because my brother can't wear watches without zapping the batteries. He'll drain the
Right.
battery in a watch within a couple of months.
That makes sense because I did wear it last week. I don't usually wear it often. So I did wear it last week and now it's stopped. But
Yeah, I bet it's got something to do with you being supercharged.
yeah, it's possible. I didn't think of that. But the energy's been really crazy. So that was that day
It
2 weeks
has,
ago that
yeah.
I messaged you, and then the week after I messaged you, and I said it's really busy now, and it made me feel a bit uneasy. It's like now everything it
Yeah,
went from quiet to really busy, and I live on a street that comes right off a highway, and even though it's a busy street, typically there aren't that many cars that go by, but that day it was just like car every 2 seconds there was a car going by, and I was like, what the
right,
hell? What the hell is going on?
right. Like, what is going on? Are they manipulating us?
I don't know.
What's going on? Or is it, the calm before the storm? What is it?
I have no
Anyway, these
idea.
cards look really good. And we got the wake up card and the blessings, which is the rainbows and the tsunamis. Tsunamis come in fast and wash things out. That's a good sign. Rainbows, well, that's after the storm is over, right?
Right.
So that, and cups, which is literally the very best damn card in all of tarot. This is like everything. This is abundance of everything. Love, family, your job, your finances, the whole deal. Like everything you could possibly want is
Okay.
balanced out and leveled up, and you're just happy as peach pie. You know, that's
Yeah.
like literally the best damn card. And then the lovers is the next card, which is also like past life energy and soulmates and things like that. And I really feel like with this particular thing that there's how should I word this? I think that the good guys are more than just good guys. I
Mm,
think that they're probably, at least some of them, are much like me. They came here for this purpose, for this time on earth right now. I think a lot of the white hats and such are really in this for God's win, you
right.
know,
Yeah.
not just to, like defeat Democrats or whoever's the richest world power at the moment. They're
Mm,
really in it for the right reasons from a good place in their heart. And I think that's a good card to have concerning your emergency broadcast to see if it was good guys or bad guys, because I think that's definitely good guy energy. And then the Page of Pentacles was the next one, which is um, everything to do with um, being brave and young spirited and doing things for the first time, maybe, that hadn't been done before. And you said you don't remember ever having a test before, which I don't know if y'all have or not, but
yeah.
again, this is something new. Maybe it's because they're doing something new here, trying something new for getting people's attention.
Mm,
Um, I know that here in the States with the emergency broadcast, everybody was expecting that a few different times and it never really happened.
yeah.
People are kind of let down and bummed out about it. And I think it'd be pretty freaking phenomenal if it was a worldwide event, and like
Mm,
4th of July or some great date, everybody across the world's cell phone just started ringing off the hook, telling them
yeah.
about that would be badass. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
That
yeah, I
would be
think all of
interesting.
this is definitely good energy that it was good guys. And at the bottom of the deck is the Tower card, which is sudden changes. So,
Okay.
and it can be good changes or bad changes, but it means sudden unexpected changes that nobody saw coming. That's
Right.
what that means.
Okay.
So I definitely think in this case it's a good thing.
Okay.
So your broadcast looks like, your good guys are looking out for you,
Yeah.
getting ready for something.
Well, let's hope so.
Yeah,
Hope so. I think
right?
we're all just waiting for some action, and
Yes.
I know things are happening. Unfortunately, John McAfee, the McAfee the computer
Yeah.
guy, yeah, he passed away yesterday under,
Yeah.
let's call them, interesting circumstances. Uh, and then apparently after he passed away, the letter was on his Instagram. The 17th letter was posted to his Instagram.
Really?
Yeah, and I looked at it. I checked it out myself, and it was
That's
there.
interesting.
That's interesting. Do you want to have a look at that?
Huh?
Do you want to have a look at that? The events surrounding his passing, and to see if what the deal is.
Foul play was involved.
Well, apparently he got arrested for tax evasion, was in jail, and then committed suicide. That was the story. But he said that he was expecting it. He even got a tattoo on his arm a while back saying whacked, and he said if I ever suicide, I'm not doing it.
Hmm. Well, interestingly enough, the card that popped out is the card of transformation or release, which basically is releasing situations or people that hold you back.
Mm.
So I don't know, maybe. Spirit don't want me to know. You want me to ask my dowsing rods?
No, that's okay. That's okay. It's not ready. It's not ready yet. That's all right. That's speaking about the 17th letter. There was a post that I saw recently where I think it was a combination of posts of, because what they're doing now is, I don't really follow them, but I see people who do follow them and piece things together and decode stuff, right?
Right.
There's a lot of posts or a lot of things that are happening now in the present day that relate to posts that were made 3 years ago or something, and there was one
Yeah.
post, I think it was the 18th or the 21st of June, something like that, and in 2018, and they mentioned the word fireworks quite often in that post. And then only a few days ago, there was a fireworks factory in Russia that apparently caught fire.
Oh, right. I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah. So I was wondering if we could look at that and see what the significance was behind that factory.
Yeah, I think this was the good guys that did it. Because this is ancestral power and blessings. And power, which is lightning.
Mm,
You know, and lightning is like God striking things. So
right.
that tells me that it's good guys, you know. Plus the ancestral card and the blessings of the rainbow. I think it's definitely good guys that did it. I think they did it on purpose. I don't know what the point is in that really, and what would be the reason that they would do that on purpose? Just symbolizing the fireworks, you think, for pointing to the 4th of July?
I don't know. Are you able to look into see why that might have happened?
I don't know if we can or not, but we'll see. These cards aren't being real cooperative. Hmm. That's the card of greed or worry over your finances. It could be either, really. We'll see what else we get. 8 of Cups. Talk about something while I'm shuffling.
You mean to tell a joke? I don't.
Yeah, tell a joke.
I just cut this bit out. I could, while you're shuffling, because I don't have any good jokes.
Okay, so what I get from these cards is that it was done to create. Okay, wait, let me back up. It was done probably as a signal because we've got the little greedy 4 of Pentacles guy here, and then we got the 8 of Cups and the 10 of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. So to me, the way I'm reading this is that it was done to get rid of the greedy bastards, to send them a signal.
Right.
That we're walking away from this bullshit. We're going for happiness. We're going to get our 10 of Cups. We've got our Page of Pentacles here too. So the 10 of Cups is promises of beautiful things to come. That would be, the signifier to all of us that are watching. Beautiful things are coming. And the Page of Pentacles is that person offering up the new gifts and the new opportunities and the, beautiful heartfelt gestures of abundance.
Right.
So,
Okay.
Which all would fall in line with, if things go off the way we think they will for the 3rd and the 4th, and from there forward, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe it was like a signifier to good guys and bad guys, good people and bad people that are paying attention. That bad guys, your numbers up. You're going out with a bang, so to speak.
Yeah. Okay.
And good guys, heads up, 4th of July's coming. It's time to party. It's going to be okay. It's going to be safe and okay after this. So fingers crossed. That's what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm stoked.
Good. Yeah. I think.
I'm ready for all that to happen.
Yeah, we all are. We just we want something. It's, I always say this, but it's so annoying just seeing the same BS on the media all the time, and just, you know what I mean? Like, it's a broken record, you go in there and it's like an extra case or an extra 10 cases or whatever, and they lock the state down or whatever. And it's just like, come on, guys. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, even the Epoch Times lately has been just spreading negative, more negative type energy stories rather than the more positive ones.
Yeah, right.
So I'm kind of bummed out at them either.
Yeah.
They're like the one news that I was still reading quite frequently until
Okay.
recently.
Yeah, I've heard of the Epic Times. I thought they had
Yeah.
lots of really good stories. You know.
Yeah, they do have good stories, but they're more low vibration, negative, like talking about
Sure.
China a whole lot,
Yeah.
all the great things they're doing.
Right.
And I'm just like, what's going on here?
You know, I heard something interesting today, just before. You know how they talk about spells and casting a spell,
Yeah.
and when you're spelling a word, you're casting a spell, right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
and then somebody made the connection that you've got casting and you've got broadcasting, which is like a broad, like television broadcasting is like a broad, pretty much a broad spell
Putting a
that
spell on you.
put all over the you know on a mass scale. Yeah, it's crazy. And I never thought
Yeah.
about that before, but there's a lot of interesting words that I come to realize have a double meaning.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Has double meaning, at least. Sometimes a triple meaning.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I think that's part of the beauty of the letter number group, because they help to educate people on looking at those kind of things a little closer and from another perspective. And changing your perspective in all of this is very, very important, especially for our final goals. With us taking charge of our world and recreating it, we're going to have to understand how we got into this situation and how it had to be undone, at what we had to do to undo it, and how to go forward, continuing to be plentiful and not allow that stuff to happen again.
Yes.
Which was the point of those 3 videos that I did on my channel about 2 weeks ago now, something like that. That was the point of those, were to help reverse the spells that they've cast out.
Okay.
That's the whole point of that.
Yeah.
To help reverse it all. Because numbers are important, dates are important. Things that they did, we have to undo on specific dates and times, etc. So those things are necessary,
Yeah.
And I'm going to teach everybody else how to do that shit too, so that we can all undo it together.
Right. And how to be telekinetic.
Yes. I'm still working on like bending a damn spoon, but I can send a salt shaker flying just from moving my hand and being mad.
Right.
Yeah, that's totally happened.
Because I was watching a video today about the magnetism, and the girl who was doing some channeling, and she hadn't heard about it before. Some people were writing in, some questions, and she channeled it, and she said, "Yeah, it's interesting. I'm getting that the people that are magnetic, that haven't had the thing, it's not a bad thing. Basically, it's there." She said the same thing that I've heard. I think maybe you said it, and a few other people have said it. It's like certain blood types are more magnetic than others, and and the people that are experiencing the magnetism now, it means that you're upgrading and that you're going to be able to have the telekinetic powers, is what she said.
Oh, look at you. That's what you wanted the most.
Well, I wanted them all. I wanted them all.
Yeah. But look at that. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is interesting. So I'll have to hone that skill. But
I still haven't found a magnet to check my own head. I did look for a magnet. I just couldn't find one.
Yeah.
Our stupid refrigerator won't hold a magnet. It's not real metal or something, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, that's interesting.
So, yeah. You ever heard of a refrigerator that doesn't hold a magnet? That's craziness.
It's very strange. Yeah.
Crazy talk.
It's crazy. It's not as strong as it was before. It still does it, but it's not as strong. So I don't know. But
well, have you been experiencing all the other things that you were experiencing at about the same time?
Still ringing in my ears. Yeah,
that's still going on.
Not as loud. So I think it's all kind of coming to an end, if you know, like I think it feels like it's
Like
on the
fading off?
yeah, it's fading off. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
How's your light switch, dimmer switch thing going?
I was messing around with it yesterday. I was showing somebody else, and I don't know if it was me that did it, but I turned on the light and it didn't turn on. So that could have just been me, but you know,
Yeah.
maybe I forgot to change it back. So I'm not sure, but maybe I didn't. Maybe.
Right. That's
Yeah.
right.
I don't know, but we'll just have a look at a couple more questions, and
Okay.
because you mentioned earlier in one of the readings, I think it was probably like the July one, how you were talking about a lot of abundance coming, and I wanted to look at, and this may have already been answered in that question, but I wanted to look at specifically I don't know if I can say the word, but the recreational vehicle, you know, those letters where a lot of abundance is going to come to the world, and certain, and maybe all the currencies is going to be on a close to one-to-one basis, if not a one-to-one basis, and Nasara Jasara being rolled out. Could we have a look at that, like a timeline around them when we may start seeing some things? I know actually we're already seeing some of it. You know, I've heard a lot of stories of people who've had their credit cards, you know, wiped to zero and things like that. So I think it's already happening, but perhaps on a larger scale.
Okay. So we're focusing on the time frame, right?
Yeah. Because my understanding is that once that happens, that's really like the nail in the coffin for the, you know, the powers that be, the controlling.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
So once that happens, you can be damn sure that things will start speeding up. Probably, you know, things will start happening a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And they're waiting for the right time, I hear.
Yeah. I just intuitively, I feel like that won't happen until after the arrests and all of the information is broadcast to everybody.
Okay.
I feel like it'll be like the third phase, you know, like
Right.
first the arrest will happen, then they'll tell everybody why it happened and what really went down, and kind of like speed educate them. And then the third phase will be like Nasara Jasara kind of stuff. To sort of quell anybody's angers that might still want to be pissed off, even though we've put all the damn truth out there for them, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, like, money talks, it walks, right? So it's not a secret that the money would calm them down, you know?
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense, because if you kind of, people won't understand why all of a sudden we've got this abundance if they don't know the story, the backstory. You know, they won't know. But if you tell them that these people have been controlling the financial system and they've been, you know, making you pay. I mean, you know, every country has a whole pile of taxes. You've got income tax, you've got all the different sales taxes, all the different taxes, you know, people aren't going to realize, people don't realize that. I mean, they know about the taxes for sure, but they don't realize that it's just all a ploy to take all the, you know, as much money off of you as possible.
Right. What time of year do grapes ripen on the vine? Is it fall?
I don't know.
I don't know. You Google it real quick while
I feel like they're close to us.
Is it summerish, summer, fall, kind of? I don't know for sure.
Let me check.
But the cards that I have here so far all look like fall.
Mid-August.
Mid-August. Okay, see that? I was kind of feeling like some August energy with these colors. And this one's got grapes in the picture. And this one, there's few leaves on the trees, and there's a bonfire in the background. So it's cool enough weather for fire outside, you know.
Mm.
Plus the leaves look like they're falling off the trees. So that's fall. And all of these colors just for some reason make me think of August, like mid-August,
Okay.
somewhere between like, you know, summer's energy and fall's weather energy. So mid-August would fit that pretty good. Yeah, and
Okay.
this one's got fire. This one's got fire at night too. So, I mean, that's typically, I know a lot of people have bonfires in the summertime too, but typically these type of people that are in these images aren't going to have a fire unless it's cooler weather. So I'm going to say mid-August on that. We can expect to be seeing some Nasara Jasara stuff.
Okay. That's cool.
What else you got?
Not too far to go.
Yeah,
It's almost July, so
yeah. I know. This year has went by stupid fast.
yeah, it really has. Mm.
Oh, I hate it. I want it to slow down some.
Yeah. Have you felt like the time has just gone? I mean, obviously you just said it, but has what do you attribute that to? Why do you think time seems to be going really quickly?
Oh, well, I mean, I was told that it would end up speeding up because we're coming into 2 timelines now. We've been funneling down. Timelines have been funneling down to just 2 timelines, which explains how come so many people are experiencing so much deja vu the past 10 years. Okay. Because all of the timelines were collapsing and funneling down to where there will only be one, right? There will only be one timeline. And my understanding of that is that all of the multiple timelines were created from people messing with things in the past. And it creates another timeline. Every time you do that, it creates another timeline.
Yeah.
So it's like sound waves compact on top of each other that creates this noise, right? So we're funneling down to now we're just in 2 timelines, and one or the other will fit in the tube, so to speak, and then the one won't, and it'll collapse as well, right? There will just be one that continues on. And as we're getting to the cusp of that, time will speed up even faster than we already felt like it, you know, because for years we've been saying we feel like time is speeding up, but this particular year has went crazy fast, like stupid fast. And I think that's the convergence. I think we're in that convergence now, where the one timeline is getting ready to fall away, and it's down to, you know, how that's why it's so important that so many people wake up, because if there's enough of us awake, then that is the timeline that remains. But if everybody stays sheeple and you've got all these crazy nut jobs that are running the world right now, you know, and their agenda, if their timeline is, the energy for their timeline is stronger, then they'll be the ones to shoot down on the convergence and our timeline fall away. And, you know, a lot of people talk about 2 Earths and a new Earth, and that's exactly what that is, that convergence of the 2 timelines, and one of them collapsing and falling away and the other one being created anew.
Okay. Yeah.
That is the new Earth. That's us.
Yeah.
On the new Earth, right? And so that's why it's speeding up. But even for me, it's like stupid fast. You know, like slow it down a little, because sometimes I don't have time to think. It's so fast. You know?
So when there becomes only one timeline, will it mean that time speeds up even more so because there's only one now, or will it mean that when
it'll
kind of go back to normal? You know, kind of
it'll fall back. It'll fall back, and it won't even. from my understanding, it won't even go back to normal. It'll
Yeah.
fall back longer to where, we have longer daytime, for
Right.
lack of a better way to explain it. We'll feel like our day is longer and more spread out to where we have more time to do everything we want to do or whatever. But
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's kind of way of living and going to work will change by then too.
Yeah.
So, or will be changing by then to
Mm.
where you're actually doing things that you love and you enjoy. And, when you're doing something and you don't care about time, right? You're not really focused on time. So
Yeah.
it can feel leisure or it could feel fast for you either way in that moment because you just don't care in that
Yeah.
space
Yeah.
because you're just enjoy,
Right.
that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that will be good. And I think that, I mean, Gene Decode says that we're already on that timeline anyway. Like we're already moving towards the good one.
Yeah, I feel like we are too. Yeah.
Yeah, because I have a friend, and actually, and I don't know if you've looked into this. Whoops. I don't know if you've looked into this recently, but I remember once you told me that you were able to project into the future, and you saw something absolutely horrendous. And I have a friend who's also very spiritual, and I said to her, are you able to look into the future? And she goes, yeah, I can look into like half an hour into the future if I want to. Like that's that far away, just half an hour away. And I said, what did you see? What do you see for the future? And she goes, well, I don't look at it anymore because last time I did, I saw something I didn't like at all. And I said, when was that? And she said, last year. And I said, okay, I think we're on a different timeline now. And I don't think she's looked at it since, but it makes sense, doesn't it? Because I think last year was very up in the air, like kind of where we were, right?
Yes, I think you're correct. Yes. But I would also like to explain that when I was shown something horrendous, that I was actually shown what the outcome would be for both timelines.
Oh, okay.
So okay, let me back up just a little bit. We're in a binary star system. I'm going to do like a quick track thing here. We're in a binary star system. We have some shit that's incoming. There are two ways that we come out of this. Either we're all awake enough and understand who we are, what we are, and what we could do in enough time to deflect that through thought, through creation, or the bad guys win. We stay asleep. We stay stupid to who we really are, and impending doom happens to the entire planet, similar to what the Sumerians were trying to warn about. That's all of it in a condensed nutshell. That's why what I'm doing is so passionate to me, and I've known my entire life that was my mission, to wake people up and teach them and get them up to speed where they need to be so that we can be on that good timeline. Also, with that said, though, I think some of it is more of it can be this bad to wake you up, or it can be this bad because you're already awake. Also, is how some of that really plays out, almost like there's other people or other beings that have some type of either control over it or a way to help deflect it or something. There's some other way of intervening other than ours, but inevitably the choice of which way it comes down is up to us. That was very, very clear, that we have to want to wake up. We have to want to change things. We have to really want to say, this is really wrong the way things have been going, and let's do what we can do to make that stop. Which there's a whole host of people on board with that notion now.
Yeah.
I mean, worldwide, people are revolting against their governments and standing up for things that they feel like the overlords of the world are trying to strip away from us, aside from the pandemic, because, we could use our voice a little more there for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'll give them credit too. I mean, people were being compassionate. They thought they were doing the right thing at the beginning of this by listening and following instructions and following guidelines. Everybody's heart was in the right place. And I'm not trying to say, we're just a bunch of sheeple, because, everybody was doing it from a place of compassion. But
Yeah.
look, the signs are out there at this point, and if you can't wake up and smell the coffee, like, what the hell? Because some of this is so blatantly clear and obvious. And I just, I can't believe people's refusal to see that it was planned and not some freak of nature thing that happened to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because there are so many parts to this thing, and especially now with the rollout worldwide of the thing, that goes in your arm. And she administered the thing to somebody, and that they reacted with their hand, and their hand kind of, the muscles contracted and it turned into a claw and they couldn't undo it.
Yeah.
And this person, this family friend of mine's been instructed, and or her co-workers too, I'm sure, that they can't talk about it. They just can't. They're not allowed to. So, you can imagine, like, around the world, people in that situation where they're forbidden to talk about these things because of obvious reasons. They're trying to get
and
this.
see that, right? That's something that we need to dramatically revamp too, are those rules and regulations that nurses and doctors and scientists and all of those people have, that bro code, insider, let's keep our mouth shut, don't talk about it, don't tell bullshit. We got to change that, because all of those people are supposed to be in a position to care for us to the best of their ability. Each and every one of them take an oath.
Yeah.
That is completely dishonored with the whole, you're in the club now, keep your mouth shut stuff. I mean, it's a total slap in the face to the oath that every doctor and nurse takes. And, even if they're not taking a verbal oath, all nurses go into nursing because they care about people.
Yeah, exactly.
They're compassionate. They want to help heal people. And then to be told that they can't say anything about that, that's a injustice to them and humanity, them and their profession.
Yeah.
It puts a blemish on them, as people to not be honored and respected. I just think the whole thing is a travesty, the way that they do it. And it really needs to be revamped.
No, I agree. And I think it gets to a point, like you're seeing in the media now, with certain people coming out and speaking out about how their companies told them to lie, or they were paid to whatever. And it would get to the point where these people, it's already happening, but it would get to the point where more people they can't, you won't be able to live with yourself. You know what I mean? Like you're
right. Like, at what point do we all say, as souls with compassion, forgive me for interrupting you, but at what point do we finally have the conviction to speak up and say, I can't do this. This is not morally right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's sad. The thing.
It's really sad.
Unfortunately, people's jobs are on the line, and that's how they get you,
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Go ahead.
Until you've had that enough is enough moment where you see some nurse. I saw a video of a nurse in the UK, and she was like, I just can't do it anymore. She quit, and she's out there talking about it because she couldn't do it anymore. But until we have more people like that,
Right. But that's what I was saying with the whole, we need to really awaken. Like, if you're not willing to stand up for what's morally right or wrong because you need to pay your bills, that's not good. That's not good for the whole,
Yeah.
If there's not enough people willing to make that sacrifice and be that unsung unsung hero on their own,
Mm.
then we don't have enough people that are awake in the right way, you know, because we really do have to come from a place of compassion and not just this is black and white or, Democrat, Republican, or whatever, right? We can't do that anymore. We have to really, honestly, genuinely come from a space of compassion and love and morals for humanity. Like it's time to be fucking real again, you know?
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
needs to stop being fake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I can't stand fake people. I can't stand them. They make me so aggravated. Like, why do you need to be fake? Why do you not love yourself enough that you can't just be genuine? You know?
Yeah.
Be you. So what if somebody doesn't like
Yeah.
it? You know? My screen just splashed. What the hell?
Really, I didn't see that. I didn't see it.
That's wild. Oh, can you see my notifications when they pop up?
No.
Well, that's good. We wouldn't want to broadcast all of that.
No, we wouldn't. We wouldn't. Do you want to look at one more question? And this kind of it may be or already been answered only because but basically I'm sure people would love to know when they might be able to travel again soon, freely without any hindrances, without any.
So you want to look at a timeline on that too?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, but again, I'm going to reiterate, all of that has to do with thought.
Yeah, exactly. Visualize yourself traveling, visualize the world opening up.
Right.
And
yeah. Well, my immediate impression here is like around Christmas time.
oh wow, okay.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, why would that happen? If everything happens in July like we hope, why in the world would it be Christmas?
It's a while away.
Yeah.
Are you sure you don't mean August?
Well, I mean, maybe we'll see in a minute here because, both of these other cards still have good green grass and flowers blooming, so that's not winter. And this is sunflowers. Sunflowers don't even bloom until like late July or August. Yeah, I'm gonna say this has got to be like summer or fall because there's cards. All of these cards have flowers in them, except for the ones that have angels in them. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards with angels out of 8 cards.
Yeah.
5 of them have angels. So that's real blessings. That's a good omen. I'm going to guess late summer or early fall because we've still got lots of beautiful flowers blooming everywhere on all of these cards and bunny rabbits.
Okay, so that's what, like August to October or something, or?
Maybe. Well, I don't know.
Maybe November.
Yeah, maybe. Sometime in fall. Because we got roses and we've got sunflowers, and both of them are still blooming in the fall.
Right. Okay.
So yeah.
So like
I'm gonna say fall.
September, October, November-ish.
Definitely not Christmas.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So yeah, I think soon. Definitely soon.
It's good. I hope it's well, I also heard that maybe there's some tunnels and things that they need to clear, and they want to keep people, unable to travel for a while because of it creates a lot of problems when you're clearing these tunnels,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that could have a lot to do with it. And also like the amount of people that need to be arrested,
Oh yeah, yeah. Hundreds.
that's not something that's gonna happen overnight.
No,
You
it's a pretty really is a lot of people. Yeah.
It's pretty extensive, so that's gonna take a long minute, you know? And I would say that until the bulk of the at least the higher level important arrests happen, that they're gonna want everybody to kind of stay in place and stay out the damn way, you know?
Yeah.
I would think.
Do you think, are you able to look at perhaps a percentage of like what percentage of those people have been arrested?
I don't know. I don't know what would I look for in that? I don't even know. Let me think about that for a minute.
I wonder also how, because yes, there are loads of people. I mean, hundreds and thousands of people, maybe more. I don't know the exact number, but it's a lot. And I kind of wonder like, how they manage to get the big people, you know, like the people that you don't even know exist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of wonder that, like how they did that. Was it I think there'll probably be a movie about it at some point, you know?
I think there'll be several movies. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Because I think the whole movie industry gets revamped too. You know, all of Hollywood gets revamped.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't watched a movie for a long time. I haven't really watched many movies over the last 5 years, but I would definitely see all of those ones.
Well, I'm not really getting anything on the percentage of it, but the Emperor card came out and, you know, he's like top dog. He's the guy that makes all the rules and gets things done. So I would say the rest are already happening, definitely. But
Yeah, I would say so too.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you hear stuff that they are, but who's to say for sure? We don't really know one way or another.
True.
But
Yeah.
I certainly feel like it's happening. And that's the King of Swords, so you know that's serious business there. Excuse me, King. That's the King of Wands. Lots of ambition and you know things stepping into the spotlight.
Yeah.
Like public announcements and stuff. So
yeah, it's going to be
Yeah.
real interesting. It is
and
gonna
this
be-
one's about taking the next steps. So I do feel like there's people getting arrested and probably a lot of high level people right now that we're gonna hear about soon.
Mm,
That's kind of how I feel about it.
yeah, cool. I would like to. I think I would imagine that this information would get drip fed over the next few years too, and you know, rather than just dumping it on everybody. But I also think that at some point they're going to have the filming, or sorry, the showing of the tribunals, right? Where maybe
Yeah.
you could just watch it all, not all of it, but you know, the main ones, I suppose, rather than just having a random celebrity get arrested or a random central banker or something get arrested, you know, a few months later, because there are so many people. They kind of have to make it so we'd be here for the next 100 years if you know what I mean, if they released it, if they drip fed it, you know what I mean, like with everything.
Right.
So I think that
I don't think that they'll drip feed it. I think there'll be like certain stations or channels on the TV and the radios that will broadcast specific things on a loop. For example, just in the past, I don't know, 2 or 3 years here in the States, we on our digital free airwaves channels, they've added 2 extra channels that are both dedicated to court cases only. And you can watch court cases play out on TV.
Oh, okay.
And from, you know, different, anything from the local stuff to, you know, other states stuff you can watch on the channels. And so I think that a lot of the tribunals and stuff like that will be played on probably like some certain amount of time frame loop daily,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
on those type of channels. And
Makes sense.
yeah, and then other stuff, like documentary stuff would like the History Channel or the Travel Channel maybe or something like that, they would dedicate to some other information to run on a so many hour loop every day to try to catch people up to speed,
Yeah.
so that all of the information is readily available to anybody who wants to watch it.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. I think it was Gene Decode who said that there'll be a certain channel, and it might be pay-per-view, it might be like $1 or something, maybe $1 a month or whatever, but maybe just $1, and they'd have all the tribunals on that channel, and maybe even the executions too. So
Right.
I hope this doesn't sound too sadistic, because I'm not a violent person, but I definitely want to see some of those executions,
Yeah, I actually want to view some of them with my own eyes myself, just to feel a little bit better about the fact that it's real.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't want to watch it for the sake of watching it. I just want to be sure,
Yeah, but at the same time, you got to keep in mind, they produce regular TV shows with CGI and all kinds of really great equipment these days. So, just because you're seeing it on the TV doesn't necessarily mean that it's legit either. So
True.
we have to also keep that in mind.
Yeah, I think, and
we're
I hope
often reminded that we're watching a movie anyway. So
yeah, and it's very difficult to tell sometimes what's real and what's not.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, that's why we got to use our bullshit radar.
Yeah.
See how it resonates with us on a vibrational level instead of, because your logical mind can be tricked sometimes by the things that your eyes are seeing. Even in real life, sometimes we look at things and we think that it's one thing that we're watching play out, but really, if we were up close and personal where we could hear it all happening, we would realize that it's maybe a totally different scenario.
Yeah, for sure. I had a funny experience when I was on a bus once, and I could see the driver in the rear vision mirror, and I was really far back, and for some reason I thought that he looked like this guy off this movie that I'd watched recently, and then when I got off the bus, he looked nothing like him.
Right.
He looked nothing like him.
Yeah, things just look different at a distance.
So you really have to be careful.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah. Well, I think that might be a good place to leave it, Kelly. I want to thank you for your time, and we'll come up with some new topics, or maybe even a different, maybe more of an interview style next time, and see what we come up with.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
Sounds good.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.